My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
You know, when this game came out, I don't even think I was doing YouTube when this game came out, you know. So when it came out, though, on Xbox 360 back in 2006, it changed up the game, you know. This was pretty much fresh into next gen back on the Xbox 360 and PS3. And I remember going to my friend's house and seeing this game being played on the HD TV for the very first time. And I was just like, I didn't have a next gen console at that point. And when I seen it, I was like, can you adopt me? Because like the game looked that good. It was gory. It was something different, you know. So I never did a review for this game. So I was like, why not, you know, let's do it now. Gears of War, man. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. This game literally, when it came out back on Xbox 360, this was one of the games that made the Xbox 360 last gen the most popular console. Gears of War changed up the game, and this was a great new IP for Xbox, you know, aside from just Master Chief, you know. So here will be my review for the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I'm not going to go too in depth because this is an old game, but you know, I'm going to do, you know, a little something. So Gears of War Ultimate Edition, is it worth the 40 bones? Let's find out. So the story in Gears of War, it follows the story of Marcus Phoenix, you know, the big bad Marcus Phoenix, you know. And when the game first starts off, he's in a prison. He gets broke out of a prison by what we all come to later know as his best buddy, his partner in crime, Dom, you know. So it's a few years after Emergence Day. I'm not sure exactly how many years, but it's a few years after that goes down, you know. And there's this war going on between the COG and Locust, humans versus Locust, you know. And Locust, you know, they're starting to build up in their numbers. They're really starting to become a legit threat. They have their own army of Locusts, you know. So the COG, they're trying to get rid of the Locusts. They're trying to find where the Locusts are coming from, trying to find their source. You know, Locusts are just popping out of nowhere. You know, they're coming up from the ground and stuff like that, and they're trying to, you know, take over, you know, the world. You know, so the COG members are trying, you know, get rid of the Locusts. The Locusts are really trying to get rid of the humans. You know, so it's pretty much that's what, you know, the basis of the story is. You know, I remember playing this game back in 2006, and I was just like, man, this freaking game is so amazing. I thought everything was on point, but, you know, 2015, you know, when you've seen games, you know, like this and stuff like that, the story, when I played it again, it wasn't, you know, as great as I thought it was back in 06, you know, but it's still, you know, a decent storyline, has some great characters, you know. Marcus Phoenix, you know, before this game happened, you know, there wasn't a lot of, you know, exclusive Xbox characters, you know, that you really thought of aside from Master Chief on the Xbox. But Marcus Phoenix, he was another one of those characters, you know, those characters that, you know, you really, you know, when you thought Xbox, you didn't just think Master Chief no more, you thought Marcus Phoenix. He's one of those characters, you know. So they do have some good characters in this storyline. The story is not fantastic, you know, but it's good enough, you know, to you know, keep you going and, you know, into seeing what goes down next. So aside from that, let's move on to the whoa! Before I get to the multiplayer, though, this is a remaster. How could I forget such things? This is a remastered game. Me seeing this game back on the Xbox 360 in 2006, I thought this game looked amazing back then, you know. But when you really do a side-by-side comparison, seeing how Gears of War looks like on Xbox 360 in 2006, and seeing how the Gears of War remaster looks like on Xbox One in 2015, this game looks gorgeous too. Like, this is not a remaster, this is a remake. They remade this game, made it literally like this. If this wasn't a remake and this just came out on the Xbox One, this might have this might have the best graphics on the Xbox One thus far. This game really looks good. The detail looks that much better. You know, just everything. The detail, the textures, the lighting, you know, the characters, the gore, everything. You know, when you get a headshot in this game, everything looks great in this game. I thought this game looked really good back in 2006 when I first seen it being played on the HD TV. Seeing it today is like, Gears of War on the Xbox 360 looked terrible, you know, but that's just how it was back then. So this is literally a complete remake of the game, and Gears of War, it really looks good, you know. But moving on now to the online. Again, Gears of War was one of those games that not only did it change up the game, with this new, back then, somewhat new game style, using the cover system and gore and all this different type of stuff, and the way you ran and stuff like that. It was so different. But not aside from just the story, when you got online, you just found out it was that much better. Gears of War Online, like, it was really, when you first played it back in 2006, it was really one of those games that, but it was a different time. Like, people, they didn't mind getting raped before they got good. These days, people just want to hop on, they just want to hop online and just immediately just be the best player in the game. But that's not what Gears of War is. If this is your first time playing Gears and you hop online, you might as well spread your cheeks wide open because suckers are gonna plow through it. Gears of War is one of those games that literally you have to play it to get better. And a lot of people today, they don't like games like that. They want to hop on a game and just be able to get kills. That's why I think that's why I think Call of Duty is going to continue being one of those top shooters, because regardless, of what you think, it is one of those games that even if you really don't play COD, you can hop on and get some kills. Gears of War is not like that. It can be really harsh of a game, if you don't have the patience. But the online is really good. It still has its team deathmatch. It has its King of the Hill. It has its 2v2 mode. It has its fan favorite, I guess, execution and stuff like that when there's no respawns and stuff. Great maps, content, things to unlock, a ranking system, stuff like that. Everything about Gears of War, that people love back in 2006 is, being brought back today, and people love it. A lot of people are back, are back into playing Gears, and this is a great setup for Gears 4, whenever that comes out, So the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, especially being only $40 for a completely remade Gears of War 1 campaign and that same great, online that's remastered, 60 frames per second, dedicated servers, actually real dedicated servers, not just people saying, yeah, we have dedicated servers, but they know they're lying to us. It's actually real dedicated servers. This is literally a great package for the Xbox One. We're in this time to where all these games are being remastered and remade. Some of these games people are not even asking for. Like I just heard the freaking Deadpool game is being remastered. Who asked for that? So, but with a game like this, Gears of War, this was a great, remake of Gears of War, still has that same great online, and it's even better today because it's 60 frames per second. It looks better, same great map, same great gameplay. But again, if you're a casual and you just like to hop on games and destroy, stay far away from this game, So, but aside from that, the Gears of War Ultimate Edition is definitely worth the price. It's only $40. I have absolutely no regrets buying this game. This is one of my most played games right now on the Xbox One. As far from the story standpoint, and especially the online, great game. And if you never played Gears of War before, I definitely recommend you get into it. Again, great game. It's only $40. You really don't have much to lose at all. So that's my review of the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Again, a lot of people have been, saying that they never really got into Gears, when it came out. So I see a lot of people saying this game is nothing but a shotgun simulator. And I'm like, Gears of War has always been that, but it's definitely, it's not your traditional shooter. This is a third person shooter. It uses a cover system in the game. Like when this game came out, it was so different. And I think that's why, it really, caught on to people. It was a different, type of a shooter. It was third person. It was gritty. It was gory and stuff like that. So Gears of War, you never played. I highly recommend you play this game. If you have an Xbox One, definitely get this game. You have nothing to lose. It's only $40. It has a good story, great online, 60 frames per second. Graphics look amazing. You have nothing really to lose, aside from if you just are casual. But saying that, that's my review of the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Definitely pick up this game if you haven't thus far. I will be playing this game pretty much until Gears 4 comes out, just to freshen up on my skills. Cause I don't suck. I can get kills, but I ain't raw. But saying that, that's my review for the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. And I'll catch you guys in my next video, alright?